Today we are going to make a Bible book cover. I like using these vinyl placemats because they make great Bible covers. I made this one for myself along with a case to put my reading glasses in. And this works out great. Then I made one yesterday for a neighbor lady out of these vinyl placemats. The pockets for your Bible flap. You can put a cell phone in this pocket if you like. There's a little cubby hole, and then places for your ink pens or highlighters. Now she doesn't need a glasses case, so I just made a little pouch if there's something as far as Bible study you want to take and put in here. So other than that, we are going to make another one today. So we just decide, okay, I have 2 of these packets, so we'll just go ahead and use one of these. And there's enough of these to actually make another one. I will need a third one if I want to make anything outside of the Bible itself too. But what I do is I establish my center fold. Once I do that, I go back, and from the fold, I'm going to, each one of these blocks is 1 inch. So I want the spine to be a couple inches wide. So I can see right here, if I put a pin on the inch mark, and then flip it over, and put another pin on the other inch mark. The same on both ends. No, I don't have a pattern for this. This is I make it up as I go. This is going to be the width, 2 inches, of my center spine for the Bible. Now what I do is I go and I fold this at the pins. And it doesn't have to be exact. So now you can sort of see the spine area. Now the reason I do that is because I will go to the machine and I will sew just a very small seam down the spine, just like you see right here. That helps define my center for your case. So I'm going to sew that, and we'll be right back. Okay, now that this is sewn in place, this is the center of your Bible cover. The next thing I will do is put a handle on the case. What I will do first is I'm going to determine how much I want to cut off of the sides of this. And all I'm doing is just accordion folding this, and I'll get the size of it. 8 inches by 12. So the only thing I need to do right now is I need to cut off of the height. Can't put my handle on there until I know I've had it cut off. You can determine which end you want it off of. There's more color here, so I'm going to take it off the other end. I'm going to take an inch off. I can go back and take more if I need it. And the reason I make it a little bit larger, you can put pads of paper and different things other than your Bible. If you have little pamphlets or anything, you can put them in there. So we have one hook in place, and it's stitched. So this time we have our strap on. I melt my threads. So at this point, this is what we have. It would be at this time, if I was making this for someone, I would put their name on it. What I need to do is put these edges together. I will put it on the 1 inch mark. And we will round the edges. If you have a small Bible, like a 5x7, this is overkill. So this is how my Bible would be in it, which there won't be this much room when it's all said and done, but you can see about a 2 inch is good for the spine, and this might be a little bit wide, but it's going to take up some space by the time we do everything we need to do with this one. Roughly 6 by 8.5. So the next thing I want to do, take the one we just cut off of and figure out, you want to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches, because we're going to have to cut this down. Then we're going to go 5 more. Now when we get to that point, this will be our flaps that we have on each side. Right here on this side. It's really not important on things like this, but if you had a directional fabric, it would be. And at this time, just use this fabric for the inside. We're going to clip this down. We'll probably have to cut a small amount of excess off, but this is how you want to know what you need to trim. So this is going to be our inside. Puffy in the middle, because that's because of your strap. But once it closes up, you can see how it's going to start coming into play. Now, the next thing we want to do, have binding on the seams. So, we'll just take this, we'll get a piece of it here, the length we need. Inches. And we'll take another 2 inches. We are going to go to the machine and we are going to attach this down the sides, which will be this. Okay, what you don't want to do is get these two sewn together. Make sure you separate them. So now I have to cut that back apart. Take this back piece off, and I'll redo it. Once we have these edges sewn on, we will flip it back onto itself and we will stitch, and this will be our edge on our Bible insert. So now I'm going to do that. I'm just going to fold it in on itself and pull it over. And you can turn it over and see if it looks how you want it to look. That looks pretty good right there. So we will go with this. We will stitch in the ditch right down through there so it'll catch the back side. So now these are what we have right there. So we'll sew these down. Okay. Now that we have these are our inserts. But what I will do now is I'm going to make another insert on this one. So I'm going to cut this, I think about a band over the top of this. Okay, I did open this back up because I thought about putting this flap in, then I thought not, and then I decided, yeah, go ahead. While I'm at this point, just go ahead and do it. So this is what we have at this point. And this will go here. It will fold right in on top of the other. And you'll have this pocket and you'll have that pocket. Flip it over. We will round those corners. match up your sides. The next thing we will do is stitch all the way around with a close stitch just to hold all of this in place. Right now, if I want to put something on the front, since it won't have a name, I'm going to pause this and think about this. Okay, I have decided what I'm going to do on the front of this. Since there won't be an embroidered name, is put another pocket on it. That will be a zipper pocket. That's what we'll do. Now, I buy zippers by the yard because I have to cut them off for what my needs are. So, zippers, on making one of these, the zipper is going to be your most trying thing you'll do, is when you do this zipper around. So right now, I'm going to take this side back off for the flap because I'm going to need to sew the front zipper pocket on. And you can't do it with this on. Lay that down. We make sure this is square. And we're going to cut off a section of zipper. And we are going to now put this together. I've got to get my mind going right. So I'm going to get this zipper on because the zipper will need to fold upward. So I'm going to sew this on. Now that I attached the zipper to this small pocket, we will then take the lining to the top part of the zipper and we will sew that on. So when we fold it back, we'll have a little bit of the fabric at the top, and then you'll also have lining in the pocket. Okay, this is what we have at this point. That'll be the inside. Zippers are a whole nother ball game. It's either you can kind of do them or you just really get aggravated with them. So we will open this up. This will go on the front. We just have to clean everything up and get it on there. Tack this in place so that my zipper tab doesn't come off. This will go on here. This will fold down, and we will have our pocket on here. I'm going to put it on here. Now, it will be a zipper pocket, but I'm going to leave the back open as well. So it'll be a slip pocket and a zip pocket. And now we're going to go around and sew all of this in. Just base stitch it because we still have the zipper to put in. I have now stitched around the perimeter. We have our ink pen or pencil elastic skin. I'm going to burn off some of the threads. The next thing we do is the zipper. Now the zipper is not just the zipper itself. It has to be attached to some fabric. So we have our side pockets. We have a slip pocket. We have the front pocket. And we have the handle. The next thing we will do is measure for the zipper. We are only getting the length. We don't have to go all the way around because this is our other piece. Or you will have tails that are tucked in this area. Right, so this is all we need right now. We're going to need enough fabric to go around this on both sides. We will have to splice it in, and that's fine. We're going to cut 1.5 inches. I will attach these. They will be offset, so we will have continuation because I have to have enough to go down both sides of this zipper. We are ready now to put our zipper onto the fabric, and you will put the zipper face down, and we will stitch all the way down. Then once we get to the end, we'll take the other strip of fabric and go down the other side of the zipper. After stitching my 2 pieces of fabric to the zipper, this can be a little tricky, and the way we're going to do that is when you put a zipper in place, it's going to be over the center of your spine. You'll drop it down a little, and then as you do that, and I'll have to pull this separate, just go ahead and take it apart. And I know it's easy to think, oh, you'll never get that back on. So we'll put our zipper down, and then you end up having to fold it. Let me get the right piece here. And I know you can't see that since the fabric matches, but you'll have a piece down, then this will fold back, and you will tack this all the way around, making sure that the edge of it is in the center of the spine. And I'm just going to loosely tack this, and then you can start seeing how this will start blending in. This will go around the entire thing until you get all the way to this side. You will do the same thing, and then you will drop it in. We won't cut it until we have all of this pinned in place. I may go ahead and lightly tack it down because we have to make sure we don't cut it too short or your zipper will fail. So this is kind of how we're looking right now. I'll get it in place and it'll make more sense. Plus, before I sew it, I have to get the zipper pull on. This is a shrimp fork. Okay, at this point, I have my zipper pinned in place. I'm holding it down in the middle. We have it pinned all the way around. And what I'm going to do now is just give a top stitch all the way around the perimeter. That way, this top stitch will hold it in place. Alright, we have the zipper sewn in. Now the next thing we need to do is take and put our binding all the way around. So we're going to do that next. We're close to being finished with this. Okay. We have our binding on. We still have this strip to take care of. Check it out. So it looks pretty good. So now we will deal with this part. I'm going to even this up. Singe the end of the zipper, and I'll get some fabric and we'll put over this. This piece right here will work. And all I'm going to do is make a little pocket, get it hemmed up, and it'll cover just like that. Then the only thing left is to make our strap. I'm going to sew this up. Okay. The center piece has been added to cover up the zipper. And we'll get our threads off. I'll singe the ones it needs to be. Next, we're going to attach our hardware. And this is all I need to do. I will determine the length that I need. Sure we have these turned the same way. This will be our strap. I'm going to sew these on. This nylon will melt to itself. this point, these are not really doing anything other than decorative. I would not have had to sew the straps, but I like sewing them on. I'm still doing these holes by hand and the rivets. I do not have one of the machines, so I still do everything this way. Now again, most people would rather have the D-ring on these. I simply do not do that. That way, if you don't want the strap on there, you can take it off and you'll still be able to hook your keys or anything on these, because you can carry it this way and you can hook whatever you want on that. So at this time, this is finished. And it doesn't have to be a Bible. It could be whatever you want as far as a book. It's just these are great. So there's what you have. A Bible, book, zipper pouch. So, that's all there is to it. The only thing I'm going to do now is I'll put a tag in it.